Hi, good morning. Today I did not go to the gym because I want to finish the podcast between Glenn Jeffrey and Andrew Huberman and to understand. And I did it in the first video, but the thing which I missed are he said it is a public health issue. It's very important, especially for children, because they did the research on the mitochondria in the rats and they find that there is changes in certain areas of the mitochondria, especially the membrane. It get damaged and the respiration inside the mitochondria become lower and in real time. So especially in children. So he said it is a public health issue, just like the asbestos. They use it in the roofing before and then it was toxic. And this is because they will talk later on in this podcast. I think I will do many videos about this podcast because I want to explain it in simple terms for the layminds and how it affects public health. It affects the health of every tissue and the longevity of every tissue. So he said that sunlight, it helps the health of the skin, of the eye, of the vision, the energy level, which is very important for health and diseases, and the metabolism. So the long wave infrared light, it is scattered in your body and through your body because it is absorbed by the structured water in the mitochondria, and the mitochondria in the body, it works as community, like a social system, like a country. So now it goes through the bones, through the skull and in the bones. So that when we take photo of the infrared light, we do not see the bone because the bone absorbs the near infrared light. Good. Then the main thing, we should expose our eyes and skin to sunlight, even the people who are white skin, but we do it gradual. He didn't mention it, but from my studying before, and do tan gradual from sunrise, because the infrared light is less, and do it gradual. Then you will develop melanin pigment and then you prevent skin burn. The most important thing is to prevent skin burn and eye burn, because skin burn, it means that the DNA in the cells are damaged. Why? Because the skin cell block the ultraviolet light because it is damaging, and then it will damage itself. This is very important. So he said, as scientists, as dermatologists, and some researchers, they said we don't have any friend dermatologists because they speak that the sun is healthy, and the dermatologists, they said the sun is not healthy and cause skin cancer. So this is a joke. So now the skin burn means the skin block the ultraviolet rays and damage the cells. So also cataract, when the lens of the eye become opaque, and he said it is like the lens is burned, like my hair white, it is burned also. Sometimes this is a metaphor to explain the thing, why the hair was black then become white, because it burned from the stress, from the problem, and then become white. It was cooked. Okay. So the cataract, now they replace it in surgery by plastic lenses, and the patient, when they wake up, they see a very bright light and they get amazed. But this brightness, it will last 2, 3, 4 days and then it disappear. Why? Because the brain get adapted and go back to normal. Okay, so the lesson from this is to protect your eye and your skin from sunburn. Sometimes even in the snow, when you do skiing, the snow reflect the light and it's very strong and might cause sunburn for the skin or the eye. And that's why usually they wear special eyeglasses to block the light. And he mentioned a name of a researcher in Edinburgh, the city which I love because I studied in Edinburgh and lived in it, and it is a lovely city. There is castle and everything. The Richard Wella in Edinburgh. He said he collect data and information, and he find that people who are exposing themselves to the sunlight, they have less incidence of death from all causes, especially the diseases which are cancer, all kind of cancer, and cardiovascular diseases. They have less. Okay, but dermatologists and before, they said no, if you expose yourself to the sun, you will have cancer of the skin. He said this is an assumption. This is not true. And we develop a deep core belief in our brain that the sun is harmful. He said we have to step back and look at the evidence and the research. And I find that I'm translating at this time the book which is Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, how we use our assumption and old core belief in our thoughts, and this will affect our mood and our behavior. I find it very useful and to connect it with this podcast. So it is better to be logical and scientific when you decide about something. And in this podcast, there is a lot of advertisement about things to sell. But for me, I find it is not enough if he said, even if he is a professor, that I use it. He said I use it. He is one person to use it. Doesn't mean it is. It doesn't mean he is. It doesn't mean he is logic.
Unknown caller.
This is they want to send me something. Okay, which I don't. It doesn't mean that it is true. It is fact. It could be a fallacy. Okay. So we have to find out, is it true or not. But in the market economy, they use somebody famous to make propaganda for an item to sell. And how they got it? They got it from research in medicine, the condition reflex. And it is started by the physiologist, Russian, his name Pavlov. We studied in physiology in medical school. He trained a dog, bring red meat, and the dog start to salivate. This is behavior. This is action. Then he put a bell to ring with the meat, bring the dog many times, the dog start to salivate. Then he bring the dog, he remove the meat, only the bell ringing, and the dog salivate. This is how we learn, by association. We create a new signal and a new reflex in our brain how to respond, and it is called condition reflex. And I have a video about 20 minutes long in my channel during COVID time about condition reflex. And this is very important in education and in advertisement and in selling. So they present a very nice looking woman with nice figure and smoking. So smoking is good because we associate it with a beautiful, healthy figure. They don't tell you it will cause cancer, no. And that is also in food. They make propaganda about food, so that we eat junk food and we get sick. We get sick, we create hospital, doctors, program to treat. And we eat unhealthy food and we'll be mentally sick, psychologically sick. And this is business. And we commit a crime also. And we have prison, we have institution. That is economy. It is a very good way to make the wheel of the economy running. Even we create wars, because we will build weapon, smart missile, airplanes, worker they do, and so on. So we create work, we create good thing for economy. That is how the brain, when you get educated, they cannot control you. You will not be controlled. You will think and you will criticize. You will analyze. Now I come back to skin cancer. Skin cancer, there is basal cell carcinoma, which happen in the basal cell of the skin. Squamous cell carcinoma, which is in the superficial part of the skin, the epithelial part. And they are very benign and they are very slow. And we could treat them by excision. It's very, very simple. But the worst is skin cancer, and could be related to exposure of white skin or even brown skin. I have seen even in Iraq, to ultraviolet rays, because it is damaging. And because these patients, they have not enough vitamin D, and I will come to vitamin D. But the worst type of carcinoma, which is melanoma, it happened in people, no, it happened in parts of the body which is not exposed to sunlight. For example, in the sole of the foot or between the toes of the feet. It's not exposed to the sun. And if the sunlight, too much sunlight, cause melanoma, then vitamin D level should be high. But usually this patient, vitamin D is low. So we have to study this. Is it true the exposure to sunlight cause the melanoma? Good. So now, but melanoma and metastasis is deadly tumor. But nowadays there is immunotherapy. They activate the immune system of the patient, and it will kill the cancer and the metastasis. And the very famous example, they use it in President Carter, who was previous president of the United States. He was in his 90s, and he developed melanoma with metastasis in the brain and in the liver. But they used for him immunotherapy, and he was cured completely. And that is very good. But I think it is also very expensive. Okay. So now, the most important thing, I said this slide is very important. Why shouldn't ask the artificial intelligence to get a spectrometer to measure the wavelength in the iPhone? Is there any app? So I asked him. He said there are, but it has limitation. So I asked him, what is the name of this? Of course, I didn't put it in my iPhone yet. Is spectral analyzer or spectroid. And this app, he said, can give you a general idea of the light spectrum using your iPhone camera. However, but keep in mind that their precision is not on par with a professional spectrometer. Why I ask about spectrometer? Because I want to buy one, because Professor Glenn Jeffrey he uses spectrometer to measure the red light and your infrared light, how it comes through the other side of the body. So I thought I will buy one and use it. The artificial intelligence told me you have to check the Apple Store for those names and see which one suits your need best. Then he said both have their strength and limitation. Generally, a spectroid is more widely known for being user-friendly and can give you a visual spectrum in real time. It is often praised for its intuitive interface and ease of use. On the other hand, the spectral analyzer might offer a few more advanced features or different modes, but it can be a bit less polished in terms of usability. In short, he said, if you are looking for something straightforward and easy to navigate, Spectroid might be the better choice. But it could be worth trying both to see which one you prefer and which one works best. Okay. So I thought, I want to buy one. So which one is budget friendly, not very expensive? So I said the popular option is Public Lab Spectrometer. It is relatively affordable and is often used for educational purposes and DIY project. Another decent choice is the SCIO. S for Sierra, C for Charlie, I for India, O for Oliver, spectrometer, which connect your iPhone and can measure various wavelengths. It is a bit pricier than the Public Lab one, but is still relatively affordable compared to high-end models. Okay. Then I said, what is the price? How much? So he said the Public Lab spectrometer, which is DIY kit, is around $35 few years ago. And it offers a wavelength range of about 400 to 900 nanometer. For me, it's not enough. What is it? Okay, the SCIO spectrometer, on the other hand, was priced around $249 back when it is launched. Keep in mind that these prices may have changed over time, so it is always a good idea to check the latest prices online. Then I ask further. The SCIO spectrometer is primarily designed to measure near-infrared wavelength, typically ranging from about 740 to 1070 nanometer. So I said it is really well suited for analyzing organic material like food, plants, and pharmaceutical. It is not really meant for the visible spectrum or ultraviolet range, so it is best for those specific applications. And this is hit me. If I want to buy spectrometer to check if the company really they mean it. For example, I have this one. They said this one. They say 650 to 850. I have this one. They didn't mention anything. I have panel. They say 650. I don't know. I want to check. Are they really? I mean, I said the company, if they don't mention it, they don't know what they are doing. Even if they mention it, they might lie. So I thought I want to check. I have to be skeptical, not spectacle. Skeptic, doubtful. But the more you ask a question, the more the more you learn. I mean, I always listen and read. Food is information. What is food information? Food is barcode. What is barcode? But now look at that. I asked, the plant there is light? He said, yes. Plant, food, and pharmaceutical, the drug we eat, all interact with light in different ways. For example, plants absorb light for photosynthesis, and their pigment reflect and absorb specific wavelength. So food have different compounds that also absorb and reflect light. My God. Which can help in analyzing things like ripeness or composition. So I need now the spectrometer, not for my tools, for my food, to see, is there near infrared light in my food? What is there? The pharmaceutical, the tablet which we take also, have molecular structure that interact with light in unique ways, allowing a spectrometer like SCIO, S for Sierra, C for Charlie, I for India, O for Oliver, to identify and to quantify specific compounds. So I will use this to see if it is ultraviolet rays, is it blue light, is it a green light. It is pretty fascinating how light can reveal so much about. See this podcast. Now this is the second video. I will continue this video and I will relate it to you and I will come back to you, I promise. Thank you and goodbye. It is very, very interesting. Mm.